Welcome to Win with Barlow, the podcast where we turn your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. With your host, Akira Barlow. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of DNA testing businesses. Looking to maintain momentum or ready to scale? This series is your guide to success. Let's get started.
Hey family, how are you today? Welcome back to another episode. It is your favorite DNA testing cousin, Akira Barlow, baby. Hey y'all. I know it's been quite a minute since we have dropped the episode, so I was like, you know what? Let me go talk to my people. Let me go check in. Before we jump into our episode today, be sure you like this video. Make sure you leave me a comment below if you can. You know what I'm saying? If you resonate, you know what I'm saying, with some things that I say, if you feel like it's touching your soul, let me know in the comments. As always, I must plug the DNA e-course. Listen, if you are trying to get into this industry, if you are interested in actually, making this a reality for you and your family, check out the description box. I do have a link to the DNA self-paced e-course. It does give you all the information that you need to actually make this business work for you. Also, I do have my DNA testing startup handbook. The link to that is also in the description. It gives you pretty much the DNA testing e-course, but it's in an ebook format. So yeah, that's how that works. So check it out. It is an affordable alternative to those of you who are not just really ready to invest in the course. It is on sale. So check out the description and grab it, okay? Now, let's get into today's episode. Now, baby, it's been a few months, right? We have been thugging this thing out with DNA testing. Y'all saw my content. You are here, right? You're doing this thing. But I need to tell y'all a few things. We got to make some changes, all right? I got to just put you up on game, all right? Now, I'm telling y'all straight from the beginning. I'm telling you all of these things out of love, okay? Don't be in my comments trying to, eat me down, okay? I'm giving you these things strictly out of love, strictly to help you win, okay? That's the only reason why I got to touch this subject today. But there are just some things that you guys are doing that is not going to work in your favor, okay? There are some things that I need you to step up in, right? I dropped the episode on, I think it was called Pulling the Trigger. So if you are feeling down and you need some motivation, go check it out. But in today's episode, I want to kind of tackle just a few things that I'm seeing a lot of people kind of drop the ball in. And I think that it's important that you know what you need to be doing. All right. So number one, I'm noticing that a lot of you are lacking creativity. Okay. Let me just be real. Okay. Let's just keep it all the way 1000. Okay. Some of you are lacking creativity, and that's forcing you to do is to copy other people. You're going to other people's websites and you're taking their verbiage and you're taking what they say, or you're taking their services and you putting them on your website and you don't even offer them. Like, what is it about, people? Let's fix that. Okay. You also are not really getting the full scope of what you want your business to be like. You're not sure on that. And I get it because it's something totally new. But at the same time, in order to really build passion for something, it has to be your baby. Like, it has to be your ideas. It has to be your flow. I'm telling you, man, trust me, I've had a lot of businesses before. If you don't really build that on your own internal passion, you're going to take this course and put this thing down to the side in a couple of weeks, because I've been there before, I know. But you also have to have a sense of creativity just as an entrepreneur and just as a business owner in general. You can't sit around and wait to see what somebody else is doing or how they're moving before you go apply pressure to your brand or your business. Yes, we're all going to be inspired by other people, other businesses, other websites, other companies. But at the same time, you take what you're inspired by and you figure out how you can make it your own. You don't just replicate the exact same thing. Or I'm seeing people put policies on their websites, like their refund policies and their cancellation policies. And then when we get on a one-on-one call or we're in a coaching session, you don't even know what the policy is, or you don't realize that you just copied somebody else's policy and it doesn't pertain to your actual business structure. So let's be more creative. Let's put more effort into really making sure that we show up in a way that's professional. And I say that because a lot of people are, and listen, no shade to Canva. I went out there to Cali a few months ago to hang with them folks, and baby, they are on to something great. But the issue is that you have to think about everybody else that's using Canva as well. And so I'm seeing people pull logos and create logos on Canva, but other people also have the same symbol. So think about that, when it comes to establishing and creating your business. Are you going to be looking like somebody else? Do you need to really just invest in a graphic designer? Think about that. And then when you're using those templates, change up the colors, make it more unique, more fitting for what you are trying to say. You don't want to walk around here and your business is a replica of somebody else's, or it looks like somebody else, or you just don't want that. Okay, you just don't want that. So put a little bit more effort in your levels of creativity and really sit yourself down somewhere, okay, and really like map out, okay, this is what I want my brand to look like. This is who I'm trying to reach. This is where, these are the locations where these people will probably be. This is how I'm going to market this week. This is what I want my website to look like. This is what I want my website to say, and stand on it. All right. So let's fix our creativity, family. Secondly, I'm also noticing that you guys have some very inconsistent work routines. Man, whew, I'm sorry, cousin. I just got to call it what it is, okay? Some of you have some inconsistent work routines, and that's affecting your success. You cannot decide that you want to be a business owner on Monday and you take the course and you go through it, and then you're so hyped and you're doing everything on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you put it down. And then you pick it up a month later, and then you're trying again, and then you put it back down again for a couple of weeks, and then you hit me up and say, "Hey, Akira, cousin, it's not working for me." It's not. It's not going to work for you. Okay, because you got an inconsistent work routine. Do you think that these other corporations are closed, or you think that they're just sitting around, deciding, which Starbucks they want to hit up today? Or no, these folks are literally masterminding, ideas to make sure that these businesses stay afloat and that they run smoothly. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, these other CEOs are showing up, they're having meetings, they get on the phone, they're talking to people, they're going to networking events. You're supposed to be doing the same thing. You need to really craft a work routine. And even if you go into your 9 to 5, when you get home every day and you get everything out of the way, the kids, dinner, bills, when you get all that stuff out of the way, you got to sit down and say, hey, I'm working on my lab. I'm working on my DNA testing business from 6 to 9 every single night, every single day. This is what I'm doing. And things that you cannot get done during the workday, bring on some additional help or carve out your lunch break or some special time to get it done. But you do need to create some sort of consistency in the flow of the business in order to see results. I promise you, when I sit down and started running this thing like a real machine, like I would go to my office or I would go to the library or Starbucks, and I would sit there for hours. When I say hours, I would say literally like 8 hours a day, because I was treating it like this is my job, like, because it really is. This is my job. So this is what I'm doing every day. So once the kiddos are off to school, baby, I'm going to my job. So I'm creating content. I'm creating social media templates. I'm making calls. I'm putting out flyers. I'm showing up to the courthouse to just catch open hearings, and I can just give somebody my card. I'm doing all of these things every single day, and this has become my work routine. And that consistency in my routine has led to consistency in the bank. Okay. All right. Number 3. I'm noticing y'all are missing out on success because you won't go outside. Whew, somebody help me, okay? I feel you on this one though, okay? Because I'm a homebody. I'm naturally introverted. But when it comes to this business, baby, I'm outside. Okay? I am outside. And that is what this requires. I look at it as if I'm acting. I look at it as if I'm acting. I hate talking to people. I know y'all like, what? But yes, it's the truth. I hate having to do all of this, but I know that it's necessary. And so I look at it as if today is a day that I'm going to be the boss. Okay. I'm gonna be a boss baddie today. All right. So because this is my costume for the day, I gotta show up like this costume. I gotta put it all together. So that has forced me to kind of step out of my comfort zone and allow me to be able to talk to people that I normally wouldn't want to talk to or approach or stop by their office or whatever the case may be. But you got to go outside for this business because the people who need the service are typically going to be outside. And when you're first starting this is a community-based business. This is not a nationwide kind of thing. All right. When you first launch a DNA testing business, it is a local, in your city, everyday kind of thing. And so you need to be out there going to, social services, going to medical complexes to market your business, going to, the public library, going to barbershops and hair salons, all of these different places. It is on you to show up. So you got to go outside. The things that you do online as far as social media building and establishing content and all of that, those are like supplemental business builders. Like they go with all of this, like they match. So you go outside, and when people look you up, they can find that, that business credibility that they need from your social media pages. But it's not enough to just rely on you posting every day or just, hoping somebody sees it and you can make some money. Like, no. So go outside, okay, cousin? Go outside. My fourth thing that I'm noticing is a lot of you are just not in business attire. You're not in business uniform. And I'm not saying that you got to be scrubbed out every day because it may not be your business look, but you do need something that represents who you are and what you do. So whether it's the company t-shirt, whether you're wearing a hat, whether you have on a button, you got to look the part, people. And think about our competition. Remember, we are battling these big top-notch agencies, these top-notch companies that do this on the regular, that are making millions each year. So you can't show up like a little rinky-dink cousin at the family reunion. They got your pants up above your navel with the belt tied and your glasses on and your shoulders shrunk in, baby. No, you got to show up as if you are the Barack Obama, Michelle Donald, whoever you look up to, okay? Like, you got to show up as that one, that entity, that strong business, that business that got it together in order to secure these partnerships. And I think that also goes in with your level of confidence. It's like the days that I'm in, full uniform, the days that I'm, really dressed to the T, those are the days that I really go hard and show up. So take that from me. When you look like it, you feel like it, you do it. Like, I think so. So figure out what that business attire or business uniform is going to be. And I do recommend that you wear it, like wear your brand. So when you're going to these doctors' offices and lawyers and all of these places, you look like what you represent. And so it's easier to convert some of these people into sales. All right. And lastly, y'all, a lot of y'all are not finding success because you don't even know what you're doing. You don't even know how to talk about what you're doing. You don't know how to explain the DNA testing options. You don't know what each test type is for. You don't even know what your lab offers or what they don't offer. You don't even know the name of the representative at your lab. A lot of you are not putting in the work behind the scenes when it comes to educating yourself just on the services that you offer. You need to know your test types. You need to know who's needed for each test. If you're offering immigration DNA testing, then you need to know what are the steps and the requirements to even be a citizen. What does their process look like? Where do they need to go in your city to even make this happen? So you need to know these kind of things. If somebody is trying to get a paternity test, but a father isn't willing, you need to be able to suggest the other test types that don't need his DNA. If you are dealing with a grandparent who may be trying to get Social Security benefits for a child or something, you need to know the knowledge behind educating them on the process so that you can secure them as a client. As a private DNA testing agency, you are going to have to spend a lot of time on education and awareness because you just have to. These bigger companies, these top companies, they already got the game together. You have to show up and prove that you got yours together. So be sure that you know these services. You know what type of markers your DNA testing lab is running or how many. Like, know this. Know the actual process. If you don't know what the lab actually does or what they do, call and get some insight. It's important for you to really just know. And the more you know, you can show up and you can represent that confidence that you need to succeed in this space because you know your shit. So take it from me. It's important to know, okay? To know what you're offering and how to offer it. All right. So those are some things that I have been noticing just from consultations and my experience with you guys online and in my coaching sessions. some things that I feel like y'all are dropping the ball on that's hindering you from being successful. Go in, make some of these changes, and let's get some of this holiday DNA testing money. All right. Thank you, family, so much for tuning in. If you are new here and you enjoy being here, go ahead and like and subscribe. And be sure you check your girl out on Instagram. The handle is @WinWithBarlow. And yes, I'll see y'all in the next episode.